Hello and welcome to another Ready to Ride Pilates for horse riders, where in this session we are going to be focusing on improving your coordination with some exercises that really test your ability to multitask, just like when you are in the saddle. So let's get going, and I would like you to just check that your posture is really equally set through your whole body. So thinking of your level shoulders relaxed, back and down and open, your headlights to the front, and that nice equal weight through both of your feet. Check that your knees are soft and draw your spine up right from the base through to the top of your head, but try to feel really elastic while you do so. Then I'd like you to pop your arms across your chest, and keeping your headlights to the front, you're going to turn your shoulders from side to side. And as you're doing those turns, watch that your shoulders stay level, that your headlights stay to the front, and that you keep that equal weight through each of your feet. If you're a little bit stiff one way, don't worry. Just gradually keep going until you feel like you loosen off a little bit. And it's normal to find that one way is a little bit harder than the other, so don't panic at all. Okay, bring your arms back down by your side. We're going to move on into some walking. So we're going to do diagonal pairs of arms and legs, starting to engage the brain a little bit, so checking that your breathing is staying very regular, so right down into the base of your lungs, slow, steady, regular breaths. Think about the imaginary ropes or springs that run from your ribs down to your pelvis, and make sure that they are gently working away so that your ribs aren't following your arms forwards and up. Check your headlights are to the front and that your pelvic floor is onto floor 3, and we're now going to make this a little bit harder and do this in the lunge position, so you've got one foot in front of the other, and so now you're moving a bit forwards and back through your headlights. Watch that that movement is straight forward and back and not going around a curve, and think even harder about that rib position, keeping your ribs gently down towards your pelvis. And then we're going to swap and do this with the other pair, so with the other foot in front, and straight off again. There's diagonal pairs of arms and legs, ribs to pelvis, regular breathing, pelvic floor onto floor 3, headlights to the front. And this is probably one of the hardest exercises ever to do, simple though it looks. Amazingly complex. Okie doke. Let's bring your arms back down. We're going to go to the end of your mat, and I would like you to stand with your feet together, your knees soft, hands on the front of your thighs, chin onto your chest, and slide your hands down, curling up through the whole of your spine as best as you can. Pause at the bottom for a breath in. Breathe out, slide your hands back up, tuck down with your pelvis first, and uncurl to the very top of your neck. And again, chin into your chest. This time try to feel that you're moving each vertebrae one at a time. So through your neck, between your shoulders, the middle of your back, base of your spine, so that your pelvis moves last of all. Another breath in, and as you breathe out, down onto your mat. We're going to start off on your front, doing the one leg kick. And I find it very difficult to talk whilst doing this exercise, so bear with me. You can have your arms wherever feels comfortable for this one, but I'd like you to have equal pressure through your headlights, tummy away from the puddle of water if you can, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and you're going to start by doing knee bend and pulse 1, 2, 3, straighten. Bend the other leg and pulse 1, 2, 3 and straighten. So keeping it simple to start off with, making sure you've got that equal pressure through your headlights as you go through. And then we're going to add in the foot movement. So you're going to, with each pulse, you're going to go heel, toe, heel with each leg. And then you're going to change to toe, heel, toe with each leg. And still keeping equal pressure through your headlights. And your tummy away from the puddle of water. And your pelvic floor onto floor 3. And your breathing nice and regular. So several things to be thinking about, and I'll be quiet now so that you can concentrate for a few reps. Okie doke. Finish the one that you're on, and then when you finish the one you're on, we're going to go onto your side. We're going to prop up onto your forearm, and we're going to move on to your side kick. So I would like you to be in this position with your top arm onto your top headlight, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and then we're going to lift your pelvis, float your top leg, and then you're going to bring your knee up towards your hip and pelvis. Keep your breathing regular, get your pelvic floor onto floor 3. Try to keep relaxed through your shoulders, and then see if you can do this with your top arm up. So now you are relying totally on your feedback from the arm, your weight bearing through, and also through your own awareness of your headlight position. Keep that pelvic floor onto floor 3. Keep the breathing really regular. Super job. Okay, we're going to do 2 more of these. Keep those knees and feet really level. Super job. Okay, bring that leg back and down, bring your arm down, and we're going to turn onto your back. And we're going to start off with your scissors exercise. And we're going to combine this with your hip twist. So we'll break down the scissors and then we'll add in your hip twist. If you're going to do this from the floor, have your hands onto your headlights, tummy in that nice neutral pelvis position, and pelvic floor onto floor 3. And you're going to take one leg up to tabletop and back down, and bring the other leg up to tabletop and back down. So you are alternating between each leg in turn, moving from your hips all the time. If you're going to do this from tabletop, you're doing it in reverse, so neutral tummy position, pelvic floor, and then you're dipping each foot down towards the floor in turn, keeping your knees at 90 degrees all the way through, so that you move always from your hips. Okay, let's add in the hip twist part now. So if you're on the floor, you're going to be rolling the leg out from the hip, so your foot stays in contact with the floor. If you're going to do this from your tabletop position, you're going to move the whole leg out, so the knee and the foot both move. Now for both of these exercises, that's the scissors and the hip twist, use that feedback from your hands to make sure that you're minimising the movement around your pelvis and the movement is all coming from your hip. So now let's put them together. So I have to again really concentrate. If you're going from the floor, you want to be doing it like this. So one leg is going out into hip twist as the other leg is coming up into your scissors position. If you're going from tabletop, it's going to look like so. So one leg is coming down into scissors while the other leg is going out into your hip twist. Whichever version you are doing, still use that feedback from your hands to make sure that your headlights are staying as still as possible and that movement is coming from your hips. Use those imaginary ropes or springs from ribs to pelvis to really try to keep your tummy, your abdominal muscles in neutral and not creeping upwards as your legs move away from you. Do one more with each leg, and then one time feet back down if your feet are up. Give yourselves a little bit of a breather. We're going to move on to doing your double leg stretch. And again, you can do this with your feet on the floor or elevating to tabletop. If you're going from the floor, you're sliding one leg straight and back up, then slide the other leg straight. As always, headlights are still, ribs to pelvis. If you're going from tabletop, you're straightening one leg and back up, and then straightening the other leg and back up. So the same movement, just a different starting position. But we're then going to add in your arms. This is where your multitasking bit comes in. So you do a half circle out as you straighten the leg, half circle in as you bring the leg back up. So half circle out, half circle in. And keep your circles quite small. If you make your circles too big, it's almost impossible to actually coordinate the timing of the arms and the legs. Again, focus on keeping that breathing very regular, your pelvic floor onto floor 3, and really think about what's happening with those ribs. Keep them gently down towards your pelvis and not creeping up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing, keep the pelvic floor. One more with each leg, Super job. Bring your arms down, legs down one at a time, and then we're going to turn onto the side that you haven't already been on. So I'm going to whiz myself around, and we're going to go back into your side kick. So into that capital L position, starting off with your top hand onto top headlight, pelvic floor onto floor 3, lift your pelvis, float your top leg, and then off you go. So now we are balancing through your upper body, keeping the headlight still and focusing on just moving through that leg. So hip, knee and foot as level as you can. Try to keep relaxed through your shoulders. So you're working really hard around your upper body, but try to keep relaxed as well. Then we're going to see if you can do this with your top arm elevated now. Again, focus on the breathing, staying regular, upper body staying soft, headlight staying to the front, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and that leg staying level. Do a couple more of these. Super job. Okay, bring your arm down, bring your leg down, and we're now going to turn onto your hands and knees, and we're going to do the swimming exercise. And I would like you to have your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees approximately underneath your hips. Pelvic floor onto floor 3, and we're going to start with your arms. So taking one arm up and back down, and the other arm up and back down. Keeping your body as still as you can. So you're just moving through your shoulders. Give the arms a rest. We're going to do the same with your legs. So you're taking one leg up and out, and down and in, up and out, down and in. And again, you're keeping your body as still as you can. With the legs, think of sliding and then lifting, rather than lifting, which tends to encourage that twisting through your body. Now we're going to combine the arms and the legs. Still keeping your body as still as you can, and looking for that smooth movement with each limb. Pelvic floor staying onto floor 3, and breathing, staying very regular. Okay, now we're going to change that, so you're taking your arms and legs out to each side. Keep that breathing really regular, and your body as still as you can. Your pelvic floor onto floor 3. Good job. One more with each pair. Fabulous. Okay, I'd like you to now bring your hands towards your knees, then we're going to come up into standing, and we're going to work on a really good coordination exercise in standing, one of the best, particularly if you jump at all. So we're going to go down into a little bit of a squat position. I'd like you to have your arms up in front as if you were holding the reins. We're going to start with your legs, tapping each foot in turn out to the side. Keep your headlights to the front and your shoulders relaxed. Okay, now we're going to add in the arms. We're going to do opposite arms to legs. And obviously, these aren't exactly riding aids, I suppose, but if you were wanting to put your leg on, move one leg, say as you're approaching a cross-country fence, and you also wanted to use your whip at the same time, you would be moving one leg and one arm. This is kind of one of the best ways of recreating that. So keeping your shoulders level, try to bring your hands back to their starting point each time. Okay, we'll do one more with each pair. Super job. Come back up, bring your arms down, have a little walk on the spot. And then we're going to stand on one leg. And I'd like you just to relax through your upper body, soften through that knee, and just try to really focus on what you're feeling through your foot. And we're going to swap and stand onto the other leg, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So relax through your upper body, soften through your knee, and focus on the feedback you're getting through your foot. Then both feet back onto the floor. I'd like you to bring your arms up and out into a V. Then take your arms behind you for a good big stretch down through your front. And then bring your hands back up. And again, take your arms out behind, good big stretch. and back up. And we're going to do one more. So take your arms behind, good big stretch right down through your front. And then bring your arms back down the side. Check you've got equal weight through your feet, your head lights off to the front, and your shoulders relaxed back and down. And we are going to finish there. Well done. Some of those in the middle were really quite hard, intense little midsection there. So I hope you found that okay. Remember, always do the easier versions if you're not sure that you're quite feeling up to doing the harder versions of any session. Hope you found that useful. Hope you found your brain was a little bit challenged. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It absolutely makes my day. Take care, and I will see you very soon.